Greetings, this is Warrior King, and the time has come for the lions and the lioness to tell their own story. This is the lion's voice. Give thanks and praise for the wonderful blessing that's been poured on me. Give thanks and praise. Jah use I as an instrument to set the people free. Jah give her the powers to chant. Jah give her the powers to chant. Ras Tafari, the lion's voice.
This is Mama Thea of Asli Pure, and when I want to hear the story from the lion and the lioness, I listen to Lion Voice with Ras Bonsu.
Greetings, this is Haile. The time has come for the lions to tell their own story. See? This is the lion's voice. Keep it locked, right, sir? Haile said that. Are you satisfied? Wipe those tears from your eyes. I'm all alone, still you thought I was telling a lie. This is the lion's voice. Keep it locked, right, sir?
What are you waiting for? Come together, calling from near and far. Know who you are. What are you waiting for? Rally up, it takes the dose. What are you waiting for? Ancestors paved the way for us. Yes, I am Ketis Oyonde, asking, what are you waiting for to come together? The time has come for the lions to tell our own story. This is the lion's voice.
Yes, people, this is Michael Shemai representing. I will say, hear the lion voice, saying it is time for the lions and the lionesses to tell their own story. King David killed Goliath with a stone, we original dread.
The fittest of the fittest shall survive. But people, open your eyes. Wake up. Blessed love, this is Queen Omega representing for all lions and lionesses. With the lion's voice, we come to tell our story. Ras Tafari, live it. Hey, the lion's voice, Ras Tafari.
Alright, listen to me now, people. The lion roar, no dog bark. See? The lion's voice with Kwasi Bonsu. Time right now for the lion to tell his story. See? Listen up.
Haile. The time has come for the lioness to tell our own story. No surrender, no retreat, we are Jaja soldier. Rougher than the streets, tougher than a boulder. Bigging up lion's voice. Now put it. I jolly for say that.
Yeah, now the time has come for the lion to tell his own story. Yeah, the one them called Celestial I represent for the mighty lion voice. And this a shook up your planet tectonic. As me sip up my roots and tectonic. And you can't make me jump nor get panic. Of the engine a run like mechanic room.
I will never stop, hail the Most High, and I will never stop, call Rastafari. Blessed love, this is Kushite representing for the Lion's Voice. We are here to tell our own story, Rastafari.
Yeah, David Dread of Steel Pulse, and I'm saying hail to the lion voice because it's time that the lion have its voice, have its own story. Says I'm stepping out here. Hear me now. Yeah, the lion's voice. Raw.
Well, lion voice, tell them that's the people first choice. Lion voice, make the lioness them feel nice. Lion voice, with the lion cubs we sacrifice. Lion voice, got to show the people them the life. Lion voice.
Ras Tafari, Emperor Selassie the first. Tell the people about embrace many. Well, even if the stars they fall and the moon turn into blood, but to the coming while we stand tall, I will shower you eye. Your love was a lifeline. Think I found the love of a lifetime. I love you every day or the night time. Almighty, I made your light shine, and after that light was a lifeline. It seems like the world is upside down. I will never hide, I'd rather stand my ground. Lion of Judah blessed with the triple crown. Can't come fool I with no circus clown. Now fear no hurricane or the cyclone. Respect for Mama Earth with that embedded on me bone. That's why I will never leave you alone. Protect you from harm when the alarm sound. So even when the stars they fall and the moon turn into blood, through the coming war we stand tall. I will shower you with my love. And even when the people start mal, when they see their city streets them flood, when the hurricane blow down our wall, I'll be by your side and me not budge. Think I found the love of a lifetime. I love you every day or the night time. The Almighty, I made your light shine, and unto I, your light was a lifeline. I think I found the love of a lifetime. I love you every day or the night time. The Almighty, I made your light shine, and unto I, your love was a lifeline. They say hurt people, maybe that's why Babylon them so evil. Maybe Babylon abused as a child. That's why them no like the light when you smile. That's why them no like how your body curve. The way how you dance get on Babylon nerve. Them no know how the Almighty you serve. Want to be a queen, so a king you deserve. And
what do you have to tell the people about Ras Tafari?
Light to the world. The king of kings and the conquering line of the tribe of Judah. I left himself. Where's my ruler? Hey yo! Yeah. Hear them high, hear the black king born the 23rd of July. So tell them guy who praise God up in the sky, it's a lie. The Almighty living on your night. From ancient time them a try. Them Romans know them just open them suit and ties. Criminals ain't got no alibi, they stole my people. Then them comes without them genocide.
Are you talking about slavery?
Them couldn't kill the lion way come conquer Judah tribe. Go through tribulation, I and I strive, see sufferation, I and I still rise. That's why we tell them in America, live Rastafari in every ghetto area. We come if you tell them in a Toronto, straight at Greetings in that divine name of His Imperial Majesty, Emperor Haile Selassie I, glory and honor in the name of his chosen queen, Empress Waziri Menen. My name is Kwasi Bonsu, aka DejazmatchKwasi, aka Ras Kwasi, aka the Reading Ras, aka the Pan-African Happy Man. I'm a creative industry attorney, I'm an author, I'm an artist, I'm an actionist, and right now, I am the host of Lion Voice Live. Welcome to Lion Voice Live and welcome to the Lion Voice Network, where the lions are telling our own story. Tonight, we return to the basics of Rastafari liberty. I'm talking to the brethren tonight. Sistering them can pull up and take out them notepads. Share this with your brethren and your sister. We're talking about 5 traits of a purpose-driven and productive Rastafari man. We're returning to the Rastafari man standard basics. Fresh off of the heels of our biggest live episode Wednesday, we broke records, family, because of the item. Over 137 people on the live at one time and over 1.7 thousand over the course of 3 hours.
monumental for the channel, you know what I mean? And for big YouTube channels, that's ordinary, not even impressive. For some big channels, maybe even worrisome. But for our channel, our little channel, our little platform that's growing, some of the items have been with us since less than 100 subscribers. For us, that was a major milestone. So big up everyone who was there Wednesday. If you haven't seen our Wednesday episode, we had a legendary panel from Trinidad and Tobago of Rastafari Pan-Africans talking about the rumored invasion of Venezuela by the U.S. Army. Of course, there's a massive military buildup happening right now in the Caribbean, and there is, but it's still a rumor. We don't know. We don't have any confirmation. So these are the rumors of war. Big up yourself, Bongo Wisely. Big up yourself, Ras Roots. Family, them coming in. We do have IDOR study group tonight, so we're a little early. Today we have a hard ceiling time at 7 p.m. Eastern, so we're not gonna carry this one too long. I'm just coming in, give some pointers for the younger brethren and for the sister in them, so they can see these qualities to identify when they're looking for a king man. We have to go to the basics. Big up yourself, Ras Roots, always. Chance that he loves that when we just talk about the basic Rastafari, because a lot of time we take things for granted, and all of these principles we can relate them to His Imperial Majesty, and we will relate them to His Imperial Majesty Haile Selassie I. That is the ultimate blueprint. So for young brethren coming into the movement, for I and I who have been trotting for some time, we know it is always appropriate to revisit the teachings, revisit the autobiography, revisit the selected speeches, which is why we have the IDOR study group, Every Other Strong, so that we stay within that universe, we stay within that frequency. What's happening right now is that you have some people usurping the power of His Majesty. They call themselves Rastafari, but they have different teachings that conflict with His Majesty teachings, and they still are calling themselves Rastafari. And it's causing a lot of confusion, and then we have a lot of false concepts. Born education is one of them that crept in, and born organization. These are things that crept in to the movement, which have nothing to do with Kadamawi Haile Selassie I, who is the unquestioned leader of Rastafari movement. It's not the DejazmatchKwasi just a come on a running mouth. No, we are amplifying the standard. That is one thing everyone know. On this platform, we amplify the standard. Rastafari is not a religion, but it is a standard. And that is what we want to get forward to the generation to coming. So you can't come, it's a global brand. You can't come, say you're Rastafari and you're moving shaky. You know what I mean? You're moving, you're wobble and I'll go through. You cannot call yourself Rastafari and be wobbly. You know what I mean? The loosey-goosey liberty. We're anti-loosey-goosey on this platform. This platform is a lion. Everything deal with lion around here. You know what I mean? So the goose them, they're not, you know what I mean? Big up every goose still, but that is not I and I. I and I is not the loosey-goosey tribe. We are the lion of the tribe of Judah. We represent over here. You know what I mean? So that being said, we're gonna get into 5 essential traits of purpose-driven and productive man, because you can have purpose and you can still not be productive. You can have a vision and you see the vision and you talk about the vision with your brethren them, and you sit down and you burn a chalice load, and then you're going at the reasoning and you're not productive. You don't have no achievements. There's no goals being set. There's no accountability. There's nothing happening other than the reasoning about the purpose. So you can be you can identify your purpose driven, but we also saying that purpose is not enough. And I coined the phrase purpose over pum pum. I coined that phrase here, and we are going to be doing a whole course for young brethren on purpose over pum pum, just guiding people. We're living in a hypersexualized time right now, and we need that guidance so that we don't. One of the main things that a man make a man stumble is the greatest thing that the Almighty ever put upon the land, which is the black woman of the earth, woman in general, with straight the eye, because them so beautiful. They make a talk and you fall like a lawn chair and don't know what to do with yourself. We have to be focused, brethren. And a lot of the time you go on a side quest, You're supposed to be on a journey, straight and narrow, but because this lady round and she voluptuous, you gone on a side quest and you waste a whole heap of time, you get tied up. Sometimes children are brought into the equation and broken families are then created. And big up to Abba Ayalu from South Africa. He said it's not even a family, it's an illegal operation, because family means that some consultation went on, some courtship, the family was consulted, and then you created a family. But he's saying when we come together and we are having this kind of casual sex relationships and children are being born, it's illegal activity. So different perspectives, but we want to ensure that from a brethren perspective, that we're not just burning a fire, but we're providing a pathway, because you take these things for granted. Enough of we take these things for granted. But remember, right now is a hyper saturation. From your turn on your phone, even my phone, you're gonna see some sexy body girls and all kind of thing based on the algorithm what sent to the eye. There's a brethren named Shaka Bars, big up Shaka Bars. I met the brethren at the airport one at a time there, and on his popular IG, every now and then him just put on a very attractive woman in some little clothes, and he says to because a lot of time people are not seeing his posts, and that is how you get the algorithm to pick up and to send it to more people. So these are the ways now, the algorithm. And remember, the algorithm is like a collective thought, it's controlling and mapping and feeding forward the collective thought based on what the programmers want the collective thought to be, and keeping I people on that low energy frequency, is good for the powers that be, because that low frequency is the frequency of consumption. You always have to consume Balenciaga, Versace, Bugatti. You hear all of these European names. You think that's an accident? This is marketing for these European brands. So we here just consuming, being programmed to lust after European brands through being kept on this low frequency. Because why does the man want the Gucci? He want that to impress the lady. You understand? Forget that vibration. So everything is circulating around these low vibration. So we have to really provide the pathway for our brethren to stay not only purpose driven but productive. And we define purpose over here as what is it that the eye was sent here to do by the Most High? What is the gift that you have that when you're doing it, it doesn't feel like it's work? You become engrossed. And in doing this activity, is it something that makes the world a better place? That's a key part of the purpose, because you can be engrossed in something and it's not adding value to the planet. So that can be your purpose. You might be good at it, whatever that thing is. But if it's not adding value to the planet, then it cannot be your purpose. The purpose is because you might have a purpose from evil too. There's polarity. So you want to make sure you serve the right master, the Almighty over the heaven and earth, and that your purpose is for good, to be an instrument of the divine on earth physically. You know, the concept of I and I is within that. So that is your purpose. And the only way as a young man that you can identify your purpose is to take action. You have to do a lot of things, fail at a lot of things, find out what you're good at, find out where you fit in, where you can use your skill, because the only way you will know you have the skill is if you put yourself in a position to utilize the skill. So enough of us have untapped potential and skill because you stay home, you playing video games, NBA, 2K, nice, Grand Theft Auto. I'm talking to the young people. I know I have a lot of elders who watch the platform and say, what is the Ras talking about? But you must have grandchildren too, so you'd probably know what I'm talking about too, because Rastafari people are very futuristic too. But a lot of the young brethren them is video games that, you know, they dealing with, you know what I mean? So they don't even have time to form their own thoughts and deal with what they need to deal with. So you have to find your purpose by taking action. That's why I coined the term actionist, because you need to take action. A lot of time you overthink things. You're gonna start, but it's tomorrow. You never get started. The item have seen I build this platform from the ground. Not perfect. If you go through the videos, there's whole heap of mistakes. My father calls I sometimes and say, you know, and he will critique the video then. And I have to tell him, Daddy, we just have to move forward, you know what I mean? That's sort of thing said. So you have to just start. I could never stand before you and say we had our biggest live Wednesday. We just passed over 1.7 thousand people tuning in over the span of 3 hours. I couldn't tell you that if I didn't start somewhere. I couldn't tell you that the Lion Pride is now 57,000 strong in every nation of the planet Earth. I couldn't make these big talk if I had just said, boy, you know, it would be nice if Rastafari had a platform where the lions could tell their own story and me and my brethren them a bun of chalice, pan a corner, sit down and a meds about it. It's not perfect. I just ordered an attachment so that we can stream with the Sony camera so we get better quality. So that's coming up. We just ordered the piece that we need. We're still perfecting the setup. This is not the setup that we are going to continue with the world. I'm in my gates. Soon we want to build a production studio. Rastafari, I think, have to be proper on the highest quality. You know what I mean? But it has to start. So whatever your purpose is, whatever the dream, whatever your vision is, it has to start wherever you are. You know what I mean? And we are in the information age. You can find out the information. You can get started. You can put it together, a business plan. You know, you can have AI even write a business plan for you right now. We really do have no excuse right now, family. Every man need to be on their purpose. So we're going to go into 5 traits of a purpose-driven and productive man. That is the episode today, a Rastafari man. Again, Rastafari is not a religion, but Rastafari is a standard. And the standard is based off of the life and example of Kadamawi, Haile Selassie, the firstborn, Lige Tafari Mukonnen, crowned as Ras, crowned as Nigos, crowned as Nugusa Nagas. You know what I mean? So there's a standard, and each level of standard, there's elevation, you know, even starting from the Dejazmatch. I chose this sound, the Dejazmatch, because I didn't, you know, my elders, when I came in the movement, I came in as a Ras. And, you know, I didn't want to skip no stage, you know what I mean? So I took on the name the Dejazmatch, and now I see other ones also have that name, the Dejazmatch, as well. But these are the decisions that, you know what I mean, I made and I made, you know what I mean? So we want that to be standard within our movement. If you take on this liberty, you know what I mean, what does it mean to be a Dejazmatch? So the Dejazmatch is when you're still establishing You know what I mean? The kingdom. You know, when we look at His Majesty work in Harar, setting up barracks for the military, you know, setting out their salary, putting in place the economics of Harar, you know, reconciling the books. Basically, this, you know, Harar is one of the ancient city states, fourth holiest place in Islam. His Majesty set it on a level as a teenager. You know what I mean? That was his first work before he even went to look for Empress Men. And he says that in his book, when Harar had gotten to a place of stability, then I determined it was time to find a wife. So before a man even look for a woman, you know what I mean, you need to be in your purpose and you need to be productive within your purpose. So that's what we're talking about tonight. And we got to be honest with ourselves as brethren. You know what I mean? All the deficiencies, all the lack of schools, of, you know, healthcare centers, we have to take the blame and the responsibility. And it's not blame and responsibility because Rastafari is a young faith. We're still rising up. But we as brethren have to rise up and set the trend. You know what I mean? Big up all of the sisters in them. They're working and they are also doing mighty works. And together the work's even mightier. But brethren, we have to, why can't we work together as brethren? You know what I mean? Every other community, the brethren, them are working together. That's why they are so powerful. I was just reasoning with a brethren of mine. Brethren don't know how to play their position. You know, once you treat a man nice and you pay him and thing, and after a time him look upon you like, who is you? You know what I mean? And start become unreliable. And it's very difficult to have consistent help, even if you're paying a one, you know, once you're dealing with your own black people, because of the programming that doesn't allow us to work long term. And as a leader, you also have to be able to follow. This is critical. You know what I mean? There are some rooms where I'm complete student. I'm just listening. I'm a baby. And then there are some spaces where I'm going to be a leader and where I'm going to be setting the tone and organizing everything. It's important as a brethren, you know the difference between the both. Both are key for your development and both should be consistent in your life. You should never in your life be the smartest person or you're the big leader and you're always like that, because that means you stifle yourself. You should always be putting yourself in a position as a student to learn and to grow and to expand. Keep your mind sharp, that you don't get dementia and them things that keep synapses firing full 100. You know what I mean? So it's very important that we put ourselves in both spaces. So I'm gonna definitely we're gonna get to the 5 traits of a productive, purpose-driven Rastafari man. I chose 5. We're gonna break them down. Get notes, write it down. If you're a young brethren, these are things that should help to guide the eye on your journey. Right now, it's the Armageddon war. We have no doubt. You know what I mean? The United States just released a policy paper on Thursday that outlined their security doctrine. On Wednesday, the episode we had with our Trinidad Rastafari family, we were talking about the Monroe Doctrine and the U.S., which basically says that the U.S. would not let any other powers, originally it was any European powers, establish military bases or military foothold in the Western Hemisphere. They just released a security policy paper that quotes the Monroe Doctrine. However, it's saying that any world power, so expand to China, Russia, BRICS, basically. So again, these are, when we look at the chessboard, you got to look at the geopolitical chessboard, the BRICS versus, because what's happened is that China, Russia, they're doing deals all through the hemisphere now, the global south. People are saying, why are we dealing with these former colonial masses, when it's clear they don't want a equal footing, you have to be a vassal, or them not talk to you. You have to do what them tell you. You can't take the talk. Them type of vibration. And what's happening now is that America is saying, all right, we can no longer dominate the world. From 1991, America was the unipower until the rise of China and the resurgence of Russia. America was this unquestioned superpower. And now America is saying, all right, two power rise, more powers arise, we are going to control the West. So this now sets up a conflict, because if the countries like Brazil, who are in the West, who are part of BRICS, founding member of BRICS, basically they're saying you're going to have to cut off BRICS and only be in an alliance with America. Brazil now going to take that. So when we talk about, if you watch the episode with Trinidad on Wednesday, we were talking about being prepared, storing food, being prepared. This security document that came out from the United States, I think it was yesterday, is a reaffirmation that we are moving into a time of war, both cold and hot war. So we have to be prepared. What we are doing here is we are rising Rastafari independent, non-aligned media, because the stories, the reasoning, the perspective that we have, we will see it nowhere else on the planet. So if we value our unique perspective, our unique culture, that means we must have our own unique media, and we have to invest in it. Big up all of the Lion Pride on Patreon. We're at 42 strong. Let us hit 50 by the new year. I mean, we've been trying. This was the goal last year. We went through the whole year and we didn't progress. I've been very transparent when we fail here, and I've said that's a consistent area of failure. But we never stop. We are continuing because we don't fear failure. Failure is just a part of the process of growth. So we're sending out the sound to the global family. If you value the programming, the consistency, remember, this is not I'm on full-time job, but we treat it like a full-time job. The pace at which we release content, unprecedented in the history of Rastafari. I tell the truth. Daily content fly out of this. So, and when we are fully funded, it's going to be better, because we're going to have more programs, different content creators, full spectrum, 24-hour Rastafari platform, highest quality. That's the vision. So if you want to trot with us on that vision, support by becoming a monthly subscriber, $5, $10. We're not asking ones to break their bank. We're just asking for a $5 or $10. If you can't be regular, you can follow the great example of a Ras Roots, one of our Lion Pride on Patreon. He comes in, he does a super chat. You can click the dollar sign on top of the chat, and you can give a $5 or $10 on an episode you like, something where I guess say, throw in a $5, throw in a $10. All of it helps us to grow, to scale. We want to have budget and a staff, a full staff, including I myself. I would love hire, my queen too, because she's the producer, co-founder. So we want to take up this thing to a new level. So we give thanks for all, again, the Patreon. Let me put up the banner. I'm going to get to the 5 trades. Just bear with I. We have a hard stop time, 7 p.m. Tonight we have the IDOR study group. So, and if you want to be a part of the IDOR study group, you can join my Patreon as a free member as well. I've posted the link over on Patreon. So right at 7 o'clock, we'll jump off of this and we'll go into the selected speeches. It's a global platform where once come we reason about the speeches of His Majesty, very airy. So yeah, man. So just consider, if I can get 1,000 people, you know what I mean, we have a mature ecosystem. We can have at least a full time, you know what I mean, person, which is myself and an editor, you know what I mean, with 1,000 members in the Patreon. And we're going to continue to grow. We'll get sponsorship elsewhere as well. But I always say we have to be, the main bulk of our funding has to come from the audience to be truly independent. Because once you start depend on sponsor funds, and the sponsor priorities change, it makes you very vulnerable, and the sponsor then will try lean upon you too if you touch a topic that impact their bottom line, you know what I mean? And we want to be able to touch any topic where we want to touch without fear of losing any revenue which we have to pay. You can't pay a man because the sponsor tell you, Ray, no. If the audience is our biggest funder, then we are independent. We answer to the audience. So consider becoming a member of this growing community, and we have a good time. We have some great personalities, great characters here. Also, I have the Empress Menin calendar. We're going to be giving one away. Big up Mama Ascali. Beautiful calendar. She sent me a package from the UK full of information, full of statistics. I'll put the link in the description. You can watch her episode. I think it's emffoundation@gmail to order a copy. We also have Brother Carl Philpott's book, one of the elders. You know what I mean? The testimony of His Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie, the first defender of the faith. You can get this on Amazon. Haile Selassie's Ethiopia, Rise of the Priestly Warrior Kings. If you don't have a copy, get a copy. We have also Ramia King Design. Big up yourself, Ross Lidge, one of our first sponsors. Brethren saw the vision in the platform and say, yes, I'm going to sponsor my brethren. You know what I mean? One of my inspiration, Ross Lidge. All to the east. Big up yourself. Big up Ras Tafari, Frontline Books. Big up Ras Wulde, Wally Kings, Graphics and Design, CMAS Life. Big up all of the ones them, you know what I mean? When you see it's not just as a whole community. I am accountable and responsible, you know what I mean, for. So big up all of the love and the vibration, you know what I mean, from the family. Before we get started, I want to continually highlight tomorrow's going to be a work day at the Pitfall Naya Bingi Center. Big up Ras Simba and the RMO family. They have been doing some great work. You see Ras Simba here making preparation to go out on the road to deliver SIP, you know what I mean? So these are works that ones are coming out of their pockets. We're doing a major fundraising for this effort to standardize. We're going to need to be doing this for at least the next 6 months. Seriously, you see the care packages. Jamaica has been devastated, family. It's not a pretty sight. We have a new video, one of our good sister in Empress Samantha from the School of Vision also has been part of that road team.
So tonight we're here packing up some stuff to go into country on behalf of RMO, so the item can always donate wherever possible for the ones who have lost some or most things. So we're just creating some packages for them.
All right. So the vision is Ras Tafari, Relief, Rebuild, Rise. We're going to be doing a massive launch December 28th. Lion Voice Network will be one of the sponsors. So you're going to hear about it. You know, this is an entity that's coming to get all the Rastafari media houses. There'll be some artists. There'll be, you know what I mean? It's going to be a nice vibration out of the darkness, come the light. And I coming together using this to kick down the petty difference and to come in a oneness, to not only relieve but to rebuild and rise toward this great repatriation. The great story is unfolding, the blockbuster, you know, the greatest story ever told, the return to the African continent of the stolen, you know what I mean, millions. It's an epic story, and we are preparing ourselves to make sure that we play our role as it is in the script, you know what I mean? Ras mean head, I'll leave it right there, you know what I mean? Big up all the Pan-African family, but Ras mean head, I'll leave it right there, so. All right. Serious thing. So big up all of the sponsors, all of the ones them who I tribute, grassroots, big up yourself. The example, you know what I mean? And support as a brethren, supporting another brethren with a vision. And we need this to build the nation, you know what I mean? All of our brethren need to be purpose driven and productive. So I hope that I am also serving that example. All right, so we have 18 minutes to get through this because I chat too much, and you know what I mean, I'm working on it, family. Sometime, you know what I mean, I am is better than others, but we have a lot to talk about. All right, so 5 traits of a productive, goal-oriented Rastafari man. Number 1 is that you must possess a laser-like focus and have the skill of prioritization. This is the ability to identify what the most important task is and to livicate focus energy towards that and make sure that you protect time from distractions. When I was a younger Ras, I was frustrated, especially when I was doing the Jamaica Music Conference, because you would get a link from some important this or that big title, and you try call them, and you rarely can get them on the phone, and you're saying this is the age of the smartphone, oh the man, you know what I mean? And then I become that person. Why? Because what you realize, you can't answer your phone every time the phone ring, because you be in a meditation completing a task, and then you answer a phone, that conversation turned into an hour, half an hour, stray your vibration, probably a new task comes in on the call, or a new mission or something, and then you recenter. So it's very difficult to do that, you know. It's better if you, I'm not saying don't call people forward, but make sure you do it on your time, prioritizing the task. If you don't have a major task and you can take the call, then do it. But we have to, as brethren, identify tasks to get done. And that goes toward having a to-do list, and identifying goals, you know what I mean? In the business world, they have something called SMART goals. In the chat, if you know about SMART goals, put it in the chat. Let me see the level. I tell people that the Lion Pride is the greatest online community on the planet, you know, in terms of intelligence and vibration, you know. So I stand on that. Does anyone in the chat can tell us what a SMART goal is? And some of these things that are used in the wider society, if it's good, it's my sister, study secular knowledge, seek secular knowledge, you know what I mean, acquire it if it serve I and I. You see it. Garrison, Garrison, have it specific, measurable, achievable, relevant and time bound. And I say that to my people because we are timeless people, you know. Rastafari people, we born whole heap of ganja. Let's be honest, not everyone. No, let me not put everyone in a box, but whole heap of we love to burn the ganja, and ganja will put you in a timeless realm. This time forevermore, you know what I mean? And then guess what happened? You still burning the chalice, talking about the same sound where you did a sound back in and 10 years gone by, and we don't see no step, no make, you know what I mean? Serious. It's you know what I mean? So let's bring this up again. Specific, that mean we can't say, you know, say one go home Africa. That is a goal, you know. But it's broad. Specific would be, you know, that I want to go to repatriate to Ghana, West Africa, in the eastern region, in the next 3 years, based upon this plan, because it's Armageddon, and we're going to do it within these timelines. That's a smart goal, you know what I mean? So we have to stop being just out there, you know what I mean? Let me. Garrison look like he want cook. Garrison look like he want bubble with me tonight. I'm sorry that we only have 13 minutes. I have to speed through this. We have a hard stop time through the Idor study group. Cause this one sweet. I'm gonna call this part one because we're gonna have to go through this in pieces, family. Cause as brethren, we have to talk. And sistren, they have to know what to identify within a king man. Garrison says, without a clear framework, movements may struggle to mobilize effectively, organize, and sustain their efforts. I agree 10,000% with Garrison. This lack of coherence can lead to ineffective strategies, ineffective leadership, and ultimately ineffective outcomes. Say it again, my brother. You know what I mean? And this is not Babylon. Movements that fail to align their actions with a coherent social theory may miss the opportunity to leverage the resources and the opportunities that are available, and may struggle to achieve their goals. So we have to be very realistic, you know what I mean? Laser-like focus and prioritization. That's number one. These are traits of purpose-driven, productive Rastafari man. Number two, the most important, you know what I mean? Two of the I won't say most important, but two of the pillars. Let's call it pillars because you can't stand up without these. Number two is self-discipline and consistency. We have to rely on internal commitment and habits rather than motivation, you know, or external pressure. A lot of time we're waiting on that motivation. Babylon fall, but look, Babylon falling and people not moving. It's business as usual. What does that tell you? No level of motivation is gonna make a man move to do what he have to do. No external pressure now go force a man to discipline and consistent. You have to have that internal commitment and habit which come from the Most High, His Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie the First. When you watch His Majesty from he was a child, you know what I mean? Discipline and consistency are the name of the game. Make these, no matter, even if people don't like I, just based on the work product of this channel, over 1,000 videos, daily video drops. We're gone in a clips right now. People have to say this brethren is disciplined and he's consistent, because you can't do the level of production that we're doing right now without discipline and being productive. So make that a part, even if people don't like you, make that a part of your characteristic as Rastafari. Make them, when they see a Ras, they say that brethren, they're disciplined and he's consistent, and not just in smoking herb and reasoning, because those are key, you know. Just because you hear me talk about those things, don't make me think that those are not key. But you can abuse these things. You know what I mean? If you just sit down and a bun herb. And let me put some context, because in the 90s, a lot of man used to move herb, you know what I mean? And in moving herb, you have a herb gate, you sit down, you're seated, you're working, man come in, them get them herb, them reason, and them trod, you know what I mean? So the work was the herb, but the problem is that not transitioning that, because all of those gates, most of them gone, you know what I mean? So the model wasn't a sustainable model. And whatever the vision, if the vision was to provide healthy cannabis, ganja, now that the plant is legal in many places, it should have evolved too. You know what I mean? A healing lounge, a healing center, but not having those smart goals, not, you know what I mean, just sitting down and you love the herb, you love give people the herb. That thing need to evolve. You know what I mean? So I have to hold ourselves accountable within that consistency and self-discipline. Self-control is the greatest thing. As a brethren, can you turn down when a beautiful woman distract you? You know what I mean? These are the skills you have to have, because nothing, not even the greatest creation, the black woman of the earth, supposed to can distract you from your duty and what you have going on. You got to be laser focused, as we said, and you have to have self discipline and consistency. You know what I mean? It's serious. It's very serious. You know what I mean? All right. Number 3 is proactive accountability. So there's a method to everything that we do. You know what I mean? You have to take complete ownership of the results. So when I set goals and I come in front of the global family and I don't meet those goals, there's a reason I've done whole episodes just talking about failure, being a failure in a certain area, and sitting in that failure but not resting in that failure, acknowledging the failure but not I shouldn't even say sitting, but acknowledging the failure but not resting in the failure. You know what I mean? Failure is just a post along the journey to where you're going, and not to be afraid. A lot of people don't start because they're afraid to fail, and that is irrational, because failure is a part of everything. You're not going to be perfect from the start. You know what I mean? I thought that by year 4 I would have 1,000 paid subscribers. I was sure, because I said, look how much Ras, over 3 million in a South Africa. I throw some numbers around the place, and you know what I mean? And I think about the global family, you know what I mean? And knowing my network and what we bring to the table. And 4 years in, we don't even touch 50. So that makes I a failure in that. But we have also, in the midst of that, built one of the biggest Rastafari platforms in history. We continue to grow consistently. There's not a day that goes by that someone don't reach out to tell me how the platform is impacting them or how much them love the platform. You know what I mean? So the joy, the networks that I've been able to build because of the platform, other works that I've been able to assist because of the platform. There's been so many successes around the establishment of the Lion Voice Network, but we have to be accountable and acknowledge the failure. Don't try to sweep the failure under the rug. Address it. We're trying different things right now. My queen and I, we are brainstorming about different ways that we can increase our monthly subscribers. We read books, we look at different things that we can implement. So it's about having accountability, not just accepting, yes, you feel and that is what it is. No, what are you doing? And I can't cuss my brethren them and say, boy, that is in Jamaica, we call it bad mind. You can't blame the person who is consuming the content for not thing. People have all kind of things going on. It's the I that need to step up to attract more. And if you stay in that blame, it's gonna people feel that, and it's gonna stifle your creativity because you put in all. Don't be a complainer. You know what I mean? Especially as a brethren, is one of the most unattractive thing. The woman them can tell you, a brethren who complain all the time and is not a man finding solution. You know what I mean? Don't be that person. I have to go quickly through the other one. Number 4 is resilience and adaptability. To be productive, you have to be resilient. You have to can take a punch and come forward. You have to can adapt and move. You know what I mean? Be able to move. And then number 5, and I'm gonna do this as part 1. We're gonna do another part because I do have a hard stop for the IDOR study group at 7 p.m. I want to honor that. Number 5 is continuous learning and skill development, and that's a key. You know what I mean? So don't get stagnant always. And even in my creative ecosystem model, I have a whole section called the reduction section. You know, we break it down as an ecosystem. You have the production, the consumption, and the reduction. Consumption, I mean, the production is like the grass that grow. Consumption, the animals and the plants that eat the grass, and then the reduction is the waste that comes out and is recycled by the fungus and it goes back to feed the production, and the cycle continue. So when we look at it from the ecosystem perspective, production is everything you do to produce your creative work. The consumption are all the people who consume the work, the audience that you're cultivating, and then also what you're consuming in order to produce the content, to keep the content fresh. You know what I mean? So that's a whole section by itself. And then reduction is the development. You know, how are you reducing waste within your ecosystem, your creative ecosystem, by either skills training, by review and revision of your policies and directives, and just always keeping a mind state that nothing is static. You know, when we talk about the building of Zion or Sion, heaven on earth is not a static state. You know what I mean? So it's a constantly evolving, it's a living, breathing evolution of productive. And as we say, as we define heaven here, it's not the absence of challenges. Because challenges, the human being require challenge to have joy, to acquire competence. It's the type of challenges that we are facing in Zion. You know what I mean? Challenges that come with abundance, challenges that come with, you know what I mean, prosperity. Those are the challenges we want. We don't want the challenges that come with war, death, violence, and degradation. So these are the things, 5 traits of a purpose-driven and productive Rastafari man. Let me go through them again. I have to end this broadcast because we do have the IDOR study group. If you want to participate in the study group, you can join the Patreon as a free member as well, or as a paid member. We post a link for the study group in the Patreon. We do have to have some security around it because sometimes people come in there and, you know what I mean, if you just share it out, you have trolls and we don't have time for the trolls. So you can get the link in the Patreon. But the 5 traits of a productive goal-oriented man: 1, laser-like focus and prioritization. 2, self-discipline and consistency. 3, accountability, self-accountability and proactive accountability. Number 4, being resilient and adaptive. Number 5, continuous learning and skill development. And all of these, what we'll do in the next one, we lay these out. What we'll do in the part 2 is we'll relate them all to the life of His Imperial Majesty, because we can show through the life of His Imperial Majesty how he exemplified all of these qualities of a purpose-driven and productive man. And every day, strive to be productive. The only way you can be productive, again, having measurable goals, set your goals. I love a to-do list because you forget things, write down things. Check things off of your to-do list. Stay productive, stay climbing, stay building yourself as a brethren, you know what I mean? And I'll give you a secret, you know what I mean? A productive man is like an aphrodisiac to a virtuous woman. I'll leave it right there. All right, family. You know what we're talking about here. We're giving the gems to the younger generation because it's Armageddon and we know what time it is. For those who are regular contributors, I will cite the item at the iDoor study group. We are doing what we have to do. Why? Because the time has come for the lions to tell our own story. And this is the lion's voice.
This is Warrior King, and the time has come for the lions and the lioness to tell their own story. This is the lion's voice. Give thanks and praise for the wonderful blessing that's been poured on me. Give thanks and praise. Jah use it as an instrument to set the people free. Jah give her the powers to chant. Jah give her the powers to chant. Ras Tafari, the lion's voice.
This is Mama Thea of Asli Pure, and when I want to hear the story from the lion and the lioness, I listen to Lion Voice with Ras Bonsu.
Greetings, this is Ras Shiloh. The time has come for the lions to tell their own story. See? This is the lion's voice. Keep it locked, right, sir? Ras Shiloh said that. Are you satisfied? Wipe those tears from your eyes. I'm all alone, still you thought I was telling a lie. This is the lion's voice. Keep it locked, right, sir?
What are you waiting for? Come together, calling from near and far. Know who you are. What are you waiting for? Rally up, it takes the dust. What are you waiting for? Ancestors paved the way for us. Yes, I am Ketis Oyonde, asking, what are you waiting for to come together? The time has come for the lions to tell our own story. This is the lion's voice.
Yes, chat people, this is Michael Shemai representing. I will say, hear the lion voice, saying it is time for the lions and the lionesses to tell their own story. King David killed Goliath with a stone, we original dread.
The fittest of the fittest shall survive. My people, open your eyes. Wake up. Blessed love, this is Queen Omega representing for all lions and lionesses. With the lion's voice, we come to tell our story. Ras Tafari, live it. Hey, the lion's voice, Ras Tafari.
Alright, listen to me now, people. The lion roar, no dog bark. See? The lion's voice with Kwasi Bonsu. Time right now for the lion to tell his story. See? Listen up.
Haile. Amina, the time has come for the lioness to tell our own story. No surrender, no retreat, we are Jaja soldier. Rougher than the streets, tougher than a boulder. Bigging up Lamb's voice. Now put it, I Jalifa said that.
Yeah, now the time has come for the lion to tell his own story. Yeah, the one them called Selassie represent for the mighty lion voice. And this a shook up your planet tectonic. As me sip up my roots and tectonic. And you can't make me jump nor get panic. Have the engine a run like mechanic. Room.
I will never stop, hail the Most High, and I will never stop, call Rastafari. Blessed love, this is Kushite representing for the Lion's Voice. We are here to tell our own story, Rastafari.
Yeah, David Dread of Steel Person. I'm saying hail to the lion voice because it's time that the lion have its voice, have its own story. Says I'm stepping out here. Hear me now. Yeah, the lion's voice. Raw.
Well, lion voice, Tell them that's the people first choice. Lion voice, make the lioness them feel nice. Lion voice, with the lion cubs we sacrifice. Lion voice, got to show the people them the life. Lion voice.